Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I wasn't expecting to see anybody. Wow. This is so cool. What time is it where you're at? What time is it there? Why am I writing so slowly? You nut. My teeth look so huge somehow. I got bad lag when I chat. Okay. Running this. Okay, I'm typing. I was running. Oh, what am I watching? Oh, hey, Trouser, how you doing? Not watching anything really, except as time goes by with Dame Judi Dench and Jeffrey somebody or other. I can't think of Jeffrey Palmer's. I can't think of what it is. Dame Judi blah blah blah. Dame Judi Dench and somebody, that guy she's always with. Can't think of his name though. It's a cute show though. PBS. Oh, thank you, Nicole. So you. You are beautiful. Come on, say beautiful. 2. My little blonde daughter that I didn't have in the system of things. Hey, Trouser, what you doing, Trouser? Oh, cool. This is really weird. This is Streamlab or something. It's a new what is it, a widget or something? I went on the Play Store, Google's Play Store, to check it out, and that's what I'm doing. So, can you hear? Are you guys hearing me, or do I have to type? If you can hear me, just type and say that you can hear me. Oh wow, you're in DC? Oh great. Like DC, like Washington DC. Let me try something. I think if I do it like this, hand. Always good stuff to tell. I know, man. Absolutely, absolutely. This is so cool, though. I'm really loving this. I've been telling my husband that he should do this because he's really funny. It's like, you know how they have. Why is this doing this? You know how they have like reaction videos and stuff to shows and stuff, or like even to other YouTubers. And like my husband, he's so funny when he's watching Springer, not Springer, Maury Povich. Oh, cool. When he's watching Maury Povich, he is so funny. And it's like, I be dying laughing. I'm thinking, yo, man, I mean, there's people who are actually making a career, like Zachary Michael, and what is it? Somebody Be Petty, whatever his name is. I'm sorry. It is. It's a lot of fun. And my husband, like when he responds to stuff on television or videos, it's so funny. I mean, like sometimes I'll be in the bathroom. We have a very small Nicole. I'll be in like the bathroom. We have a really small apartment, and my husband will have the TV on, and you can hear the person on the television talking, and then you can hear my husband responding as if the people in the TV can hear him, and it'd be so funny. And I'm in the bathroom, and I'm trying to do my #1, and I can't do my stream of what I gotta do because you know when you laugh, your muscles kind of tighten up, and like I'm trying to, pee, and I can't because I'm laughing at my crazy husband. And so I want us to put pressure on him. I want us to put pressure on him to do a reaction channel, you know what I mean? So we can get up out the hood, I mean, we live, there's good things that we have, you know what I mean? But it's time for a change, and I have other family members to consider. Oh, I know. Wow. So so hold on, Nikki. So Trouser, you're in Washington D.C. Yeah, he does. You know. So so you're still out in the Midwest, right, Nicole? We don't have to get specific, because you know, but you're still out there in the Midwest, right? Having a live stream, live with cameras. I can't with you, Nikki. You're too funny. Yeah. So anyway, this is kind of weird for me, you know what I mean? Because I didn't expect anybody to see me, you know what I mean? But that's great, you know. I'm behind. I'm late for all the jokes. Okay, so Trouser, where are you usually? Are you usually in DC, or this is because you said just for a few hours? And Nicole, you're just funny. Yeah, because what I want to do is I want to go live stream. I mean, obviously I'm doing that right now, but I want to do a live stream. Oh yeah, definitely Trouser. Yeah, I want to do a live stream, but oh God, Nicole, I'm in Colorado. I'm gonna say enjoying nature. Put it that way. That's my goofy hand. Nicole, we don't really have to. Okay, and Trouser, you're near Charlottesville. Okay, let's talk Charlottesville, North Carolina. I'm guessing North Carolina, right? Anyway, I want to do some live streams where I talk to a bunch of you guys and I sing and just act crazy and all that type of stuff. But I got to get better lighting because I look like I'm 100 and something or other, and I don't like that. That offends my feminine vanity. But you know, this is kind of cool. Really, I got so much other stuff I have to do, but this is, you don't want to postpone stuff, you know what I'm saying? That's what my mirror said. Okay, yeah. That's what my mirror said. Your mirror said you looked old. No, you don't look old. You don't. I mean, you don't look 21 like when I, you know, last saw you, sweetie pie, but, you know, that's what everybody's doing. Look at this gray. It took me a while to get used to it. Oh, Virginia. You live... Trouser, you in Charlottesville, Virginia. Okay, so isn't that where the that horrible protest riot thing happened about a year ago? At Charlottesville, Virginia. It's a shame that I don't really know exactly, but that was just that was a mess. I'm glad my father didn't have to see that. He already was. I mean, I'm not glad that he was dead, but since he was dead, he didn't have to see that because it's really horrible thinking about the times. Okay, all right, thanks, Trouser. You know, because thinking of the times, you know, my father was somebody from the deep South. He was born in the 1920s and served in World War II, the Korean War, and the early part of the Vietnam War. And he saw a lot of changes and stuff in the Civil Rights era. And he lived into the 1990s, so he saw a lot of progressive things, you know, positive things happen after coming from a time period where the Confederate Party people were still holding dances and stuff when he was a baby and a little boy in Mississippi and that part of the country. So I'm glad he didn't have to see a lot of the negative stuff that's been developing. But go, Pappy, go by. You just keep plugging away, Miriam. Good job at being consistent. I must get to work by. Okay. Yeah, my dad went through a lot, and he was a decorated veteran and stuff, but and he was very light. In other words, he was somebody that people would frequently think was a white man, but wasn't. Okay, that's okay, Nicole. It's cool. I'm kind of lagging too, and so he had some interesting experiences. But even though, let's say, he looked more Euro than Meghan Markle, he was always aware of the fact that he was a black man, and he did constantly experience discrimination, even though he could have presented himself as a white man to the world, you know, and he had to deal with a certain amount of that, seeing it happen to us, his children, you know. And yeah, when you get older, you look back and you think about when you were a child, when you were a teen, and what your parents were going through. Your perspective from a child's viewpoint or a teenager versus an adult in your 20s and 30s and so forth, seeing how the world works, and it makes you think back on your parents and what they tried to share with you. Because like I'm of the same generation. I know it's awful. It's awful, Trouser. But you know, my father was a brilliant man and he came through it. My mom was brilliant, and it's not like I got along with my parents. I was that daughter that was always challenging her parents. But as I became to my adulthood, especially when I would speak to them, I would thank them for the things that they taught me and express appreciation more for what they went through, because of what they trailblazed. It made it more easier for me and my brothers and sisters, even though we had our challenges too. And you know, I'm of the same age group as Mr. and Mrs. Obama, Sarah Palin, Brad Pitt, Sandra Bullock. What's the girl that's blonde? She's a great actress. I cannot think of her name, but she's brilliant. She went to Yale. Jodie Foster. We're all about the same age, and when we came up, things looked more optimistic because a lot of the horrible things and the laws and the customs were primarily done away with when we were children, older children, teenagers and young adults. So we thought things would be better than they turned out to be. Now, they were still a lot of improvement over what my parents experienced. But as you can see, the backlash of people who just don't want the old repressive ways to die. But I said, I'm a woman of faith, and I know it's not in man to do right, but I know it's in the Creator to do right. And we are going to have that where we can get along peacefully. But you know, I'm just keeping my head up and observing what's going on and keeping my eye on the Word. Yeah. So you know, so my father died in the 1990s. My mom died this year, and I'm just you know, trying to stay alive myself. Me and my husband, and you know, I have relatives. I have siblings that their health ain't so great. Amen, Trouser. Seriously, I feel weird to call somebody Trouser. You know, it just feels a little weird. You know. You know, my husband's here, but it still feels a little strange. But anyway, at least your name is not I need subs or I pick my whatever. I thought things would be better than, yeah, I know, I agree. We of course we did, because we know that humanity, in one sense, is capable of it, but there's always that portion of humanity that just doesn't want to play fair. It's like when you're on the playground or in your sandbox. There's always those kids that just don't want to. They don't want to play fair, you know. But change is coming, and I just hope that everybody who really would appreciate the change keeps a grip, holds on, and not gets caught up and sucked into the crazies. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of, it's like some people are just mad just to be mad, and some people are just angry and start stuff just for the purpose of wanting to be angry and starting stuff, and people try to draw you into their stuff, you know. And I've had to talk to my husband about that, particularly because he's like more of the streets, more of like a homeboy of the streets. Hey Justin, welcome to the live stream. And I'm the type of person, because of my training, it's like I understand how the street response is. But the problem about the street response, when you're a street person, people know what will push your buttons and how you expect it to act. So when you don't give them what they want, they can't control you. You understand? And so we have to walk around like we know what's going on, as opposed to like we're unaware, you know, that people are losing their minds and just looking to start stuff. Oh, you changed your, oh, hi, child, your name is Justin. Okay, so you got a normal, I mean, I know I was talking about you calling trouser, but it just, I mean, I wasn't, like, triggered or anything. It's just a little, it just was a little weird. Stop laughing. Nicole is laughing. Well, you know how I am, Nicole. So, you know. But this is really cool. This is really fun. I remember when I was a young woman, well, teenager in the late 70s, and a young woman in the 80s, when we were coming up, we were told that we would be able to, you know how they predict how the future was going to be, that we would be able to call people up and see them on the television in the 1980s, that this is something that was going to happen in the 1980s. Well, you know it didn't. So sort of like now, like maybe the 90s and the turn of the 21st century, and in this era, past 30 years, we have been able to do that. I know, Nicole, you felt safe on the street there than you do most places. I know. I'm telling you, man. But it's rough in Baltimore. There's a lot of crazy stuff happening in Baltimore. Baltimore is going wackadoodle. You know what I mean? It's going wackadoodle. You know, so you still, but you know what it was like to be here, Nicole, and you also know what it's like to be where you're at. So you're the better judge of that. But it's just that, like, even now, of course, me growing up primarily in Baltimore, I know how to survive and deal with folks in Baltimore. But I'm telling you, people just try you sometimes, you know. And oh yeah, it has a high crime rate. It's very sad. It's very sad. And the thing about it is, Justin, it's not just that the crime rate. I sound like Bugs Bunny or Elmer Fudd. It's not just that the crime rate is very high. It's that the conviction, yes, the conviction rate is very low. Yeah, Nicole and I were homeless together. That's how I met. She's so cool. And I never forgot about my little baby doll. So many times people slide in and out of the penal system, and you're thinking, what is this person doing on the street? You know, how is it that they got back on the street? They lock them up for violent crimes, this, that, and the other, and they're back on the street, you know. So there is that, you know what I mean? And not just in Baltimore, but, you know, other cities too. And the story that we're told is, oh, well, you know, there's prison stuff, but, you know, it is what it is. But, oh yeah, there's always crazy stuff. Well, yeah, there's always crazy stuff in Baltimore. It always is. But there's good things too. We have good events and stuff, and it just doesn't make the news like the cray-cray makes the news, you know. Like the guy that went to Florida and shot the people up. I'm like, oh God, why does he have to be from Baltimore? We're in the news enough where it's embarrassing. And some guy from Baltimore has to go to Florida and act and do this. And then you have the other guy who went to New York from a Baltimore neighborhood, which I'm a minister of Jehovah's Witnesses. And we're actually, like the congregation I used to go to, we would go door knocking, so to speak, in that man's neighborhood, and it's an interesting neighborhood. It's a very historical neighborhood. I'll leave it at that. And it's like, wow, he leaves Baltimore, goes to New York, and commits this crime. It's like, why do you have to embarrass us like this? And then there was, you know, the thing that happened with the young man Freddie Gray that was all over the country and all over the world, and you know, and so you feel a little sensitive when somebody from Baltimore leaves our city and brings crime to wherever he or she, as the case may be, go. You feel like, you know what I mean? So, and we actually had friends that we knew growing up in Baltimore that lived in that town and frequented that area where the shooting took place in Florida. She had to get on Facebook and say, I'm fine, we're fine, my family wasn't there, you know what I mean? So, you know, there's that. But, yeah, this is actually kind of fun, and this is kind of cool, you know, and I'm going to be doing more of these, but like I said, this was, well, was the guy that was in Florida, was that political, or was he just a random nut? Nicole, I don't know, because we had psychos way before the recent social things that were happening. We've always had people that, you know, that just were acting crazy. Hi, Puerto na Cojina. Hola. I don't speak that much Spanish. No mucho. No mucho. How do you say it? No mucho habla el español. Un poco. Hey, oh, Nicole is so cool. She's so good. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, okay, look at it this way. We look at what's happening now, right? But look at Crazy King being mad at his brother because his brother sacrificed for him. It's just in people. It's just not that hard to be a decent person. But you got to want to be a decent person, I think. And that's really what it is, you know, regardless of where you live in the world or where you are in a stream of time, is either you want to get along with people or you don't. And that's it. That's it, you know. So, like I said, I just try to keep my head up because buenos dias, that's all I speak. That's good. Buenos dias, good day. And believe me, that good day is coming, but it's not going to be anything that a human agency. There's been, Nicole is saying, honestly, I'm not sure, but most of the shootings this year have been the Trump supporters going off. It does seem to be that way, but there has, even before that, you've had people who've been doing crazy stuff like that, like the Columbine shooters. How long ago was that? Was that 20 years ago or something? There's just, yeah, so, I mean, at that time, you know, the scene, the socio-political scene was very different. So I think it's, even though leaders affect the people that they're leading over, they do affect it. It's not like it was all, you know, PC love and grooviness and everything. This is something that's been building up. You know what I mean? It's very easy to make it just about recent events in the social structure, but this type of stuff's been going on a long time. I mean, the little girls that were killed in the church, the little black girls that were killed in that church, that was what, 50 years ago or something? 1963, you know. The guys that were found in Mississippi, that was in the late 50s. You know, the Waco thing, that was, what was that, in the 80s or something? I can't keep track of it. It's just so much. 1990s, and it's just been escalating, you know. And that's what I mean when I say, yeah, I was in high school in Colorado during Columbine. Yeah, you know. And it used to be, you could go to school without having to be patted down or going through a metal detector. Yeah, but you know, sometimes it feels like it was yesterday, you know. And it's a trip. But the world, the society structure, it is the same kind of people. They just found a niche. Stop. So anyway, let me stop. Well, Porta Carzina says Brazil. Oh yeah, because they've been having a lot of stuff happening in Brazil too, right? I'm so sorry because I haven't been up on that as much, because I do remember seeing it was perhaps Brazil, maybe Venezuela. There's been a lot of unrest, and we don't really get a lot of the information. You know what I mean? What we're told in the news is, I hate racism. Girl won't pay attention to me. I lost that kind of cycle. Okay, trying to understand your sentence because it's a little, I guess, you stream of consciousness. The time that we're living in is the time that we're living in, and if it's not one person or another person, people are going to be this way. Let me put it to you this way. In the time of Christ, people were looking to Jesus to help them, to give them politically what they wanted. And there was a lot of political things going on. There was different social movements going on, and people were trying to focus on, like they do today, they're trying to focus on human agencies to save them and to help them. And what happened was, it just wasn't going to happen. And the ancient Israelite nation trusting in human agency instead of the promised Messiah, which was Christ, which some people think was a social reformer, but no, that's not what he was here for. They got swept away. They thought that if they trusted in the social agency, political agency, yeah, see, this is what I'm saying, Justin. They thought if they trusted in what their eyes could see, that would save them, but it didn't. And as these things changed, what I'm trying to say, Nicole, is in the time that Christ was walking the earth, people were very polarized. This is what I'm trying to say, is people were very polarized then. If you read the Gospels, and I encourage you to get a good modern English one so you won't be distracted by the thous and shouldest and this type of thing. If you get a modern English translation, there were these political parties back then. There was the political party followers of Herod. You know, there was Pontius Pilate. He had a political career to consider. But the thing is, all of that got swept away. Because it's not about the political parties and the party, hey girl, real estate whisperer. It's not about that. I mean, they're in place for as long as they're in place. As a neutral Christian, I'm going to give them my respect and be, you know, working, not working against them, but, you know, minding my business as a real Christian, which a real Christian does not try to change the world, according to what I've learned from the scriptures. But, how can I put it? As long as they are not trying to get me to break God's law, you know, I'm going to obey their law. You know what I'm saying? I have learned from my study of the scriptures that I have to have confidence in what I say that I believe in. And if I believe in Christ and I believe in the Word, then I know that Christ said his kingdom or his governmental authority, his rulership, is not from this world. And he was dealing with people who were going at each other. They were fussing about the same, actually they were fussing about the same types of stuff that people are fussing about today, if you really go back to it. I can't stand you either, real estate whisperer. But I'm so good I can't even stand myself. So that's what I'm not going to allow myself to get drawn into it, because I like my work to be worth it. I don't like to waste my efforts. And then, okay, let me put it to you this way. If you're in a car and you need to go somewhere and that car ain't gonna go nowhere, the engine ain't gonna work, there's no gas, there's nothing you can do, it's done. Why would you keep trying to, you know, it ain't working. And if there's another way to get where you need to go, and you learn, hey, there's another way and there's a better way, like, no, but I want this one. Hey, Savage, how you doing, Savage? This is cool. I'm not gonna beat or work on something that is dead, that is gone. Or I'll put it to you this way, Nicole. You know I love you. I love you. Let's say it's 1912. Okay, women don't have the vote. Black people are not even second-class citizens, like third or fourth-class citizens. There's all this stuff going on and stuff, right? Okay, it's 1912. And we're on this boat that people think is unsinkable, but it's not unsinkable. But people have convinced themselves it is unsinkable. Okay? There comes a point as that iceberg hits that bad boy that you either decide, I know, well, look at this when you get back. You either decide to get a lifeboat because that's what you're going to have to do, or you stay and you go down with that sinking ship, trying to fight what's bigger than you. That way you ask yourself, am I going to waste my energy and waste my effort, or am I going to get the results that I really want? Justin says, have a great afternoon, Nicole. If I'm on the Titanic and they told me it couldn't sink, but I'm seeing that it's going to sink, I'm getting on one of them little boats, you know what I mean, and trying to concentrate on the fights and the wrestlings and the different ideologies of this system of things is putting yourself in the position of going down into the Titanic, and I'm not going to do that. Okay, Savage, this is my hand. Ugh. I keep doing this. Doesn't my hand look like a monster? If you see me and you think, you know, if you can see my hand, put hashtag monster and stop socializing with each other. I'm jealous. I'm needy. Doggone it. Hashtag monster. Let me see if I can type that in there. Hashtag monster. Hands. Okay, guys, if you can see my hands and you can hear me hit that. Yeah, scary monster, hit monster. Oh, monster like Eddie Munster. We're all needy. Yeah, bless Nicole. I love her to death. She's a very sweet girl, and she loves our country, and she feels very sad when she sees, because she remembers better times when people got along, and I respect that, you know. But everybody has different viewpoints of what the solution is, and mine is, from what I've learned, from what the scriptures say, this thing is bigger. It's bigger. I'm driving. Savage, you shouldn't be doing this while you're driving. You like Monster cheese? You mean Munster cheese? You know what kind of cheese I like? I like Havarti cheese because it's spelt like my name. Yeah, I know, Justin. He needs to stay safe. He needs to stay safe. Yep, he needs to stay safe. Oh, this is so cool, though. I'm just so glad to see everybody. I didn't expect that many people. Like I said, I was just doing stuff. I was just doing this like to say, well, let me see if I can work this. I turned off the TV a year ago. I don't know anything about what's going on. And I don't blame you. I know, vegan Havarti. I know. I'd like to try vegan Havarti. I haven't found it. I like feta cheese, says Real Estate Whisperer. I like it too, except it's so salty and I have high blood pressure. I've got some in the refrigerator right now. I want to eat it, but I can't. I know. He says, I know, right? Savage Scientist. I know, I want to eat it, but I can't because, you know, my legs have been giving me problems. I got to go see my doctor and everything. I'm a savage. Yeah, who does it? We do love salt. We love salt. But too much salt is bad for us. I don't watch the news. You know, I watch it though because it's fascinating. And like I said, because I have the shield of faith, the great shield of faith, and the sword of the word, which is the scriptures. It protects me, and I have the helmet of salvation, the hope of salvation, and what that will bring. The news doesn't bring me down like it used to, okay? Because I know how to handle that spiritual armor, not fleshly armor. I'm not here to go fight people fleshly, but we're talking about a spiritual warfare for people's minds and hearts. Because I accept the breastplate of righteousness, which protects your heart, I'm concentrating on what God says is right. What God says is right. You know what I mean? And that protects me. You know what I mean? So I look at the news because I want to know what's going on, but I just look at it and I'm thinking, wow, I just don't believe this. This is just mind-blowing. But there it is happening, you know what I mean? But I don't blame you for not looking at the news because I did go, I hate salt, it kills sugar too, says Savage Scientist. Yeah, I know. And I love, but look, it's salt, it's sugar, and it's fat. And we love it. It's our natural tendency to, thank you. It tastes good. It makes you feel good. Y'all buzzed out on it. And again, in the proper amounts, it's good for us. If we don't have any sodium at all, and a lot of it occurs naturally in food anyway, so you don't have to go to the shaker to get it. But if you had none, it would make you sick. So you do need some. You do need some type of glucose, but not as much as most of the people in the Western industrialized world take in. You need some fat, but not as much as most of us in these industrialized nations take in, you know. And like I said, I think vegan is an ideal, but I don't think I can fully do it. Yeah, refined sugar. Yeah, and we love it. And you know, I looked up, somebody had told me, I don't know if it was one of my school teachers or what, but they had told me that refined sugar, chemically, if you look at the formula, the chemical formula for refined sugar and heroin, it's very similar looking. Even the molecule, it's not just that they're white powder, but molecularly, and what's in it is so similar that it's bizarre. It's really bizarre. And I remember being, okay, I'm 56. I'm 56 years old. Too much salt and sugar. I eat organic sugar and Himalayan salt if I really need it. I'm 56 years old, and when I was about 8 or 9, I remember our teacher telling us that more people die because of sugar than because of heroin. And we looked at her and thought, this woman is crazy. But she was saying because of the diabetes and the heart problems and the stroke and the blood pressure, because sugar is bad for your blood pressure as well. It raises your blood pressure. That actually more people, but that more people are dying from its effects. And so I'm sitting there, I'm a little girl, I'm thinking, well, sugar's in cookies, sugar's in cake, sugar's in ice cream, people put it in coffee. This woman's crazy, you know? But I never forgot it. And I learned, stop acting crazy, phone. I learned indeed that what she was saying was true. It's true. That doesn't mean you shouldn't ever use it or that it's ever inappropriate, but it's like not used properly. Yeah, you're in a lot of trouble. There's my hand again. Ugh, monster hand. Beer is better than salt, says Savage. Laugh out loud. So yeah. So we really, and see, the thing is, my thing is, I need to. What I have learned is, a lot of us are not taught properly about nutrition. We know how to stuff our faces. I think all of us. Stop. Well, you know they used to, she says, use heroin correctly. Well, you do know that about 100 or more years ago, the doctors used to prescribe heroin and cocaine. You could actually get it from a doctor. They prescribed it for different, you know, ailments as some type of treatment or cure. Even most that has sugar companies put sugar in food because they, yeah, that's right, Justin. Yeah, you know, and so it's really weird when you find out that people could go to the drugstore and buy heroin. They could get prescription. Richard, did they used to go to the drugstore and get cocaine? Cocaine too. From it, yeah, cocaine. For goodness sakes. And it was a candy too, and soda. Yeah, yes, yes. So it's really weird. Our history with drugs, narcotic drugs, is a very bizarre one, and it's one where we, as a society, have not really tried to look at things in a very honest way. And if you doubt that, then I suggest you go see Reefer Madness. Now, I have never smoked a joint in my life because of the way my mother raised me, very effectively from small childhood. And I disagree with you, savage scientist. Yeah, that's right. Real estate whisperer was. But if you want to see a crazy movie about marijuana, see Reefer Madness, because you will fall out laughing. I mean, I had never seen it before. I'd heard about it, and maybe 10-15 years ago I broke down and watched it. And again, like I said, I never smoked a joint in my life, but I knew a lot of kids who indulged because I grew up in the 70s, and this was before crack came on the scene, and this is when a lot of people put away heroin. They didn't want to drop acid, and they thought weed was safe and all that type of stuff, right? But I was raised from early childhood to stay away from all drugs, right? So I finally see Reefer Madness on cable TV, and I, honest to God, couldn't believe it. And I heard it was funny, and I knew kids when I was in junior and senior high school that did smoke weed, and they when Reefer Madness would come to the theater, they would go and they would bring their cigarettes and smoke it and watch it. Speaking of weed, I need to pull out of my flower garden. It's too hot outside. Stay inside. Anyway, they would go and they talk about how funny it was. Well, like, I watched that movie totally sober, no drugs in me or anything, and I saw Reefer Madness, and I couldn't believe that this movie was written in all seriousness to scare kids away from marijuana. I saw that movie and I fell out laughing. I just kept laughing like I wasn't fully sober, and I'm telling you I was, but I just couldn't believe it. It was so ridiculous. And if you don't believe me, if you can get Reefer Madness on your tablet, your cell phone, if you've got an old videotape or a compact disc of it, look at Reefer Madness and prepare not to believe what you see and hear, because that was bizarre. And my point is, people needed to have been taught the truth from jump, and they really weren't. They really weren't, and I think that has a lot to do with what's wrong with the kids now. By not being truthful and forthright with people about these drugs, it created an environment that made it easier to make the illicit sale of drugs and the high life. And I think it's partially responsible for why we have so many people who use drugs and abuse drugs specifically, you know. So yeah, but that was a weird movie. I couldn't believe that that was meant to be taken seriously, because to take illegal substances, especially when the way the drugs laws became, it would get you in a lot of trouble for a whole lot of reasons. So you need to talk straight to people and not make up weird stories that people are going to see are not true, and so then they're just not going to listen to anything that you say. You got to be credible if you're going to teach people, right? So there's that. But anyway, alcohol gives you a hangover. Weed does not. I think alcohol is worse. I think it's apples and oranges. Yeah, compact. I think it's apple and oranges because yeah, it's apples. I wouldn't say that alcohol is worse, though. For some people, because of their body chemistry, maybe in their case it's worse. But I don't think weed is better, although not being a scientist, I am hearing about how it is helping people with different health issues, glaucoma only being one of them. And I've seen films about different applications of these types of, yeah, things like that. Exactly, your real estate whisperer. Yeah, yes. You know, so again, we have to talk to people, and particularly the young ones, in an honest and logical way about these things, instead of trying to scare them about the boogeyman and things like that. You know, that's how I feel about it. But anyway, I plan on having some live streams where I just act totally bat poo-poo crazy and I sing and stuff, and just have a little fun. But this was meant to be an experiment. I really didn't expect to catch anybody. Oh, your real estate whisperer, what is the, because when you remember, you guys went on and then you were having problems with the stream, and they said you're going to try again and try again. Unfortunately, I fell asleep and I never got back with you. True, says Justin David, and yep, says Savage Scientist. And I want to know what is the topic, because it was Star Trek last week and it was Scotland the week before, and I want to know what the topic's going to be for this Thursday, so I can win that cup, doggone it. Do I drink alcohol? No, I just leave it alone. I have so many people on my father's side who have alcohol issues. And I think I have a few on my mother's side too, but they're more quiet about it. That it just made me think, oh, 80s and homes? Okay, cool. All right, great. That should be fun. I am determined. I don't know who I got to beat up. I don't know if it's Trouser or Conkle or whoever it is, so I can get me a so I can get me a mug, but I'm determined to get one. I'm determined to get a mug. I am. Dag nabbit. I am. So, all about famous homes from the 80s. That should be fun. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. You think I had like a A house. That's my dream, is to get a house. Right now I have an apartment, and but I want to get a house. I really do. And to accompany or to accommodate my husband and myself and a few other folks that are related to us. Be really nice. And then if it is the will of Jehovah, it will happen. I didn't live in the 80s, so you'll have easy. Oh, so you're a baby. Ooh, good. No, but yeah. The 80s were, oh my God. The 80s were such a bloated, crazy. Oh yeah, well, it was a bloated, crazy, bedazzled, poofy hair, big shoulder pad, Coke infused, and I don't mean Coca-Cola infused era. You have to be the Canadian. They've been cleaning up with her. We'll have to fix them, won't we? The 80s were crazy. But you know, like I said, I stayed away from the drugs. I did. And I had it in my mind, Backstreet Boys. It was awesome. Oh, man, come on. Backstreet Boys? Let me tell you. Backstreet Boys, Whitney Houston, The Clash, U2, the Bus Boys, the Waitresses. I never wore my hair like that. Not ever. She says that's her story. And she said, I didn't do that to my hair. I did not do that to my hair. Oh, well, my hair was naturally poofy anyway, so the 80s kind of worked out well for me. I didn't have to go through a whole lot of changes to get my hair poofy. It was just naturally that way anyway, so I didn't have to invest in a lot. Yeah, Whitney Houston. Oh, God. The Pogues, the Cranberries. Oh, my God. Hall and Oates. The Cars. Oh man, such good recording artists, really good music. Backstreet Boys, oh yeah, the Beastie Boys, yeah, you know what I mean. And Michael Jackson was an adult. You know, he went from being, oh baby, give me one more chance. Yeah, honey, the Cars, and a lot of good David Bowie music, even though he was around in the 70s and the 60s. He had really good music in the 80s, so it was killer. Bruce Springsteen. I mean, we had some music, man. Yeah. We had some really Psychedelic Furs. Blondie. Loved their music. I used to listen to that crazy chick, Patti Smith. You know? Prince. Yeah, Prince. Elvis Costello. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, see, now I'm happy. Y'all done made me happy. That was some good music. And you didn't have to have girls twerking around on, you know, this twerking. I mean, I'm so tired of the twerking. You know, like, you know, Aretha Franklin didn't have to twerk. You know what I mean? She had actual talent. She could really sing. She could bring down the roof. You know what I mean? Whitney, Nintendo Sega, yes. Thanks, Savage. Whitney, oh God, Cyndi Lauper, thank you. She wasn't twerking. I just think twerking belongs in the strip clubs. You know what I mean? Just leave that in the strip clubs. I know there are men and women that want to look at that, but who's Christina? Who is that? Christina Aguilera or who you talking about, Willis? What you talking about, Willis? Christina? I don't know. I don't know who that is. I don't know. Me neither. Me neither. She says, I don't know how to twerk. And you know what? My name is Christina. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. But you know what? Even though twerking looks interesting, I guess from a male perspective, it's hypnotic. Christina, Y-R-E-W. Right. I'm always interstate. Okay. Somehow we got through life without knowing how to twerk. And you know what I mean? I think we need to know more about mortgage rates and homeowners insurance and real estate law and community property law than how to flap our butt cheeks. You know what I mean? And there's so much emphasis on women concentrating on things that have to do with their bodies, like a woman being about what she is physically as opposed to what she is mentally, what she's capable of. And we need to know, just like men need to know, about money and the law and things like that, of property and net worth and things like that, you know. Oh, Savage, you're going to be at the your real estate your real estate whisperer live stream, because it's so cool. Right, right. But see, okay, but you have people that want to buy houses that don't even understand that. You know, I've met people that have been taken advantage of so bad because they did not understand basic things about home ownership, and they've gotten conned out of their money, you know. So stuff like that, you know. And I just wish that women would concentrate more on that instead of how to work a stripper pole or whatever, you know what I mean. Women have been taught how to do whatever was the equivalent of twerking since ancient times and that type of thing, back when we weren't allowed to read, vote, own property, you know, have a monogamous marriage just between the husband and the wife, you know what I'm saying? I know, and it's very, very helpful, and I love it, I do. She says, that's why I do my videos. I use entertainment to keep them entertained and to help us to learn. Yeah. So, you know, here we are. We can, you know, we have equal rights, at least in theory, if not in actuality. We have equal rights. We can marry whom we want. We can get a divorce if we want one. You know, we can have our own businesses. We can vote, if you know, if we choose to, you know, and this is like unprecedented. Yeah, it is. Now, I want to look attractive, but I don't want to be a Stepford wife. I don't feel like I have to be a Stepford wife. I want my husband to feel like he has to be a Stepford husband. You know what I mean? Yeah, she's going to get on the roof and twerk. Who's Savage? Who's going to get on the roof and twerk? Who you talking about, Savage? I'm okay with myself and I like my hair. Yeah, you're a nice looking woman. You're a very attractive woman. And the thing about it, Christina, now that I know your name, Christina, is you're not just a pretty woman who does her hair nice and wears nice clothes, but you got a brain. Stop it, Savage. You got a brain and you have business. And that's really good. It's good for you and your life partner. And every woman needs to look like a Kardashian. It depends on what Kardashian you're talking about. And it's good for your daughter because she can learn about business, and it's good for sons and daughters to learn about business and money and finances from both mommy and daddy. You know what I mean? And so, but her learning from mommy, she sees a version of herself, and that she can be smart and empowered and know about houses and not have to depend on somebody. Christina is beautiful. Yes, she is. Justin, I know, right? And look, I wouldn't mind looking like Kim Kardashian because I think she's very physically attractive. I just would be a different type of lifestyle. You know what I mean? But she's not a bad-looking woman at all. You know? I mean, if I woke up, honey, if I woke up and I looked like Kim Kardashian, would you be mad about that? But it was me, but I look like Kim Kardashian. Would you be upset?
No.
He said, no, I wouldn't be upset. and I know he wouldn't be. Let's see. Now, what if my husband woke up and he looked like Kanye? I'd rather he looked like himself. But if he looked like Kanye, but still acted like my husband, I could live with that. You know what I mean? But I like my husband just as he is. Not everybody's ready for that booty. She says, thank you, Justin, Savage, and Miriam. I don't want to look like Kim K. No way. You could look a lot worse in this world than Kim K. But like I said, it's not my thing. And I was given what I was given, and I'm okay with it. My wife would be upset if I was looking like Kim, says Justin. I know that's right. If my husband woke up looking like Kim, I'd be like, ah! And then my husband's deep voice, what are you upset about? I'm like, look down. Let me stop. So anyway, okay, so this is really cool. It's almost been an hour, so this was a lot of fun. And Adita, hey baby, are you just coming home from school? Hey Adita. Adita. Kim is nice and fine. He lying. Sammy said, yeah, yeah. Oh. Oh, that is so cute. Y'all crazy though. I'm okay with me. At one time I wish I looked like other people. Now I'm like I could have it. That's how I am, Christina. It's like I used to wish I looked like, you know, when I was a little girl, Marilyn Monroe was the standard. We all should look like Marilyn Monroe. No, we shouldn't. She was a gorgeous girl, but even Marilyn Monroe didn't look like Marilyn Monroe. Now imagine that. Exactly. And then I wished I looked like Cher, which I was really skinny, so I sort of looked like I could have been her cousin, you know what I mean? And then I wanted to look like Pam Grier, you know what I mean? But if you come to the point where you say, you know what I was given is fine, it's cool. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm okay with it. And I'm here to be a person, not to be a look, right? So, and that's freedom when you realize that. I'm trying to make myself look better. With my window shade. I mean, not window shade. Look at that awful lampshade. So ghetto. I've had it for what, 15, 20 years? I need to get a new one. Well, anywho, we've had a most interesting talk. And like I said, it was totally unexpected. I saw Finer Work Girls and Kim and Delicious. Is Delicious what? I'm trying to think, is she one of the girls from Flavor of What? I know, Marilyn Monroe had, and they told her she, I know. She had plastic surgery, and they lied to us. They made us think she was naturally blonde. She had brown hair. They call her the most famous blonde in the world. Well, the most famous blonde in the world was brunette, but they dyed her hair. Only those women aren't. I'm a guy now with it, Justin, and she had brown hair, and it was dyed. They said they did something to her nose, and that her chest wasn't quite, and her booty wasn't quite, but they made these special undergarments for her. She was very pretty. She was pretty before they did that, and then of course she used her makeup in such a way that it made her features look different than what they actually naturally were. Justin, Dan, oh Dan, hey Dan, what's up? So, and also she had blue contacts because her eyes were brown. I'm like, Marilyn Monroe had brown eyes. So she wasn't really blonde and blue-eyed. She was brown-haired and brown-eyed. I mean, I would have liked her either way, but why did y'all lie to us? You know what I mean? Well, Lucille Ball wasn't really a redhead. I gotta stop before these comments haunt me. It's too late, Savage. You in it. You in it. Get out. Get out, Savage. Yeah, so anyway, I'm cool with myself and everything. And then, of course, there was the beautiful Whitney, and I was never going to look like Whitney, but that's okay. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to sing like her either, so. But I have to me too. Go get your daughter from school, and your eyes, they're very pretty too. Her eyes are the real deal. Hashtag just saying, and they're very pretty. Yep. So go pick up your daughter, and guys, thank you for everybody for coming. It's been a stone gas. Yeah, Dan, I'm sorry you just came in on the tail end of this, but I'm going to be doing more. And you can, let me know. I know, thank you. Yes. Yes, we will be on YRE stream. It's going to be fun. But thank you guys for showing up, and it's been a gas. And again, blessings and love from my friend Nicole. And Adidia, do your homework. I know you got some. And everybody take care, okay? Yes, have an awesome night or afternoon as it is. Okay, bye-bye. And I'm going to put the little wavy hand thing. The little wavy hand thing. Where you at, wavy hand thing? Bum, 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 bum. Here you go. And done. Yeah, so exactly, Savage. All right, y'all. signing out.